Suzanne, really, where is she? Suzanne, there she is, over here. Really good question, Suzanne. Why do I so fully accept the diminished, unloving belief in myself that my parents and others instilled and hang on to it and feed it? Very good question. And there is only one reason why you do it. Do you know what it is?
Hoping that somebody else will make me feel better.
Oh no, that's where you want the addiction to be met. But
Right.
why do you actually hold on to the diminished viewpoint that your parents have of you? In other words, why do you keep telling yourself that what your parents say about you is true?
I don't want to take responsibility for myself.
No. It's not that.
I want somebody else to make me feel better.
No, you do, but it's not the reason why you hold on to the diminished, unloving belief in yourself that your parents instilled. That's the addiction you have to make it go away.
Right.
Yep. Keep going. If you no longer have it, what will happen?
I'd have to show up a bit more, take responsibility for how I act.
Yeah, I can see why I asked the question. Because you can't see what's going to happen. And this is a secret to actually understanding what the problem is. All right. If I keep holding on to a viewpoint that all you have told me is true, even though it's false, right? I'm doing it for a reason. What's my reason? What's my payback? What do I get out of it? So if you tell me something's false, if all of you tell me something's false, so imagine you're the family. So the family tells me something's false. In other words, my worth is not, I'm not worth anything, or I'm worth less than them.
Yeah, right.
My family tells me that. It's false from God's perspective, but my family believes it, and I hold on to the belief on purpose, even though I know it's the wrong belief. Why do I hold on to that belief on purpose?
Because it'll please them.
Yes, and what happens if I don't please them?
Oh, then they get pretty rageful and angry
Yeah.
at me.
Yeah. And that's the main reason why you do this.
That's how I'm challenging it now, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, and you don't like where it's leading you, right?
It's a bit scary.
Yeah, it's scary, and you're worried. You are quite tied into family,
Yeah.
and you're worried that you'll have none after all this, right? And that's why you hold on to it. See, if you hold on to it, that doesn't get challenged. You follow? So it's really fear of potential violence and abuse.
Yeah, and there's already been a fair bit of that, so.
Yeah, there is. In your family, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what I'm suggesting to you is this. If a person desires to abuse you, do they love you?
No.
No. So why are you trying to seek love from people who do not love you? Surely you're better off having another family, not the family of origin, but another family who loves you.
I feel at this stage that my injuries are such that I really repel people fairly effectively, and so I don't seem to have many very deep relationships.
Yeah, I don't feel that. I feel you don't have many deep relationships because you are afraid of conflict.
Okay.
And so you're not yourself.
Okay.
And you spend most of your time trying to not be yourself. Because you're afraid of what being yourself will create in the other person, where they might get angry with you and upset with you, and you couldn't bear that. So your problem is your addiction to how other people's opinions of you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Now, you've had this problem ever since I've known you. That's why you get jealous of other people as well, for the same reason. Because you think, oh, if only I was like them. Does that make sense? If only I was like them, then maybe more people would like me and things like that. Yeah. Yep. Your primary problem is fear of violence, fear of emotional, in particular, violence from other people, particularly your family, and you don't want to challenge that, so you want to hold on to the belief that they've told you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah. Does watching movies help that? I've done a bit of that sometimes. I don't think I stick with it long enough to make a big difference.
I think truth will help you the best. Be truthful with your family about how they're treating you.
Right.
Be honest with them, and then draw the line in the sand and don't allow them to treat you that way anymore. Take action.
Well,
Those two things will help you the most.
I started that this morning.
Yep, and then feel the results of that. Allow yourself to have a good cry about the fact that you don't really have a family who loves you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's true.
Because you don't. No. You don't have, although you do, you've made a family who loves you. But it's interesting how we're so focused on the other family because they're not giving us what we actually want.
Yeah.
They are the source of the problem. So we keep going back to the source of the problem, trying to change them so that they eventually will love us, to prove to us something that we're just unwilling to feel about right now.
Yeah. Okay.
My suggestion is, if a family member can treat you badly, right, then it's pointless going back to that same family member in the hope that they will treat you better. Because it's highly unlikely that they will, for many years or even thousands of years.
Yep.
So you can't keep allowing your worth to be linked into this family treatment of you. While you join your worth with family treatment, every time your family treats you bad, you're going to think you're bad, right? Yeah. And you're not.
I feel frightened for them.
No, you feel frightened for you.
Do I?
This is what you're not allowing yourself to feel your own fear here about you.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're hooked into them with guilt and other emotions too, of course. But they treat you badly, you let it happen, and you also imbibe what they tell you about yourself, in that you're not as good as them or you're not worthy as them and so forth. And so you keep holding on to this, as you've questioned, this unloving belief about yourself, so that you won't get attacked by them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have more courage, my dear sister.
Okay.